Hey, what's up, everybody? I get a lot of questions about how I edit my videos because I play all my instruments, so I put multiples of me on the screen, and sometimes I do it in different ways. So this is a video editing tutorial, the first that I've done, and I hope you dig it. I'd love it if you'd subscribe for more stuff like this. And there's a Patreon. There's even a $1 a month tier that gets you access to all kinds of stuff like this and other things. Cheers. So I always start off by bringing in the audio first. So I have a mix of the MP3 here. I'll bring that in, and there's some junk at the beginning. So I'm going to try to find the beginning of the song, and I try to find like kind of a signature moment that I can line everything up with. Oh, I'm using Davinci Resolve here. It's free. It's awesome. It's specifically great for color grading, which I'll get into kind of later in the video. Let's see if I can find the beginning. Okay, that's pretty close to the beginning. So I'll find a spot. Obviously, this will work in Premiere or After Effects or something like that. DaVinci Resolve is kind of a mix of both of them. It's free, so I use all that, or iMovie. So I'm just trying to find a spot here. I'll probably use like the fourth or fifth chord. No, this is skeleton key. Yeah, right there where the shaker comes in. So I'll find it here. I'll zoom in pretty close. You can see there's an audio meter here. I'm just trying to find like so that bling, that's the actual end of the chord ring on that. So I'm gonna actually splice this clip, the audio clip. That just gives me kind of a marker there. I could set a marker, but I tend to just use my clips in the in my edit panel. So I'll go over. I'll probably bring over the guitar first, and I recorded these without audio. I had audio turned off on the camera, so you won't see an audio file down here. And I'll just try to find about where I think. Let me mute that track so yes. Yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of junk at the beginning of this. So actually, probably, it's likely that the ends are going to be pretty close to each other. So I'll try to find about where I see myself play those chords, and I'll line up that specific chord with it. Should be pretty close. Okay, so I probably should move that coffee cup. Let's see. One, two, three, four. So this is, my fingers have just finished passing through all the strings, so that should be the end of the beginning of the sound of that chord. So I'm going to try lining it up with the audio that I have, and I'll just do kind of a playthrough. It's not bad, but it's clearly off by a few frames. I'm gonna, I think it's just a little bit slow. I might tweak this later, but. So now I'm gonna split that difference a bit. It might just be a little bit too far out. That was good. There's like you can hear that, the chord stab there. And so I can line up my fingers plucking the chord with that. That I couldn't beat. Now I'm probably a frame or two. On this chain around my neck, I keep my skeleton key. Don't waste your worries on me. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna spot check it in a couple other spots. Horizon pass through every couple years. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to keep that about where it's at. I'm going to turn the snapping back on. That's what makes it snap to any cuts or the marker. So I'm going to keep that right where it is. And I'll just kind of do the same thing for the other two. So I'm going to try to find my signature spot in this one as well. I'm going to mute, turn off the other video, and just see. Okay. Actually, the first hand clap is probably the perfect place to do it. Okay, so I'm getting close. I'm going to turn off snapping, because if you have it on, it just kind of like moves a couple frames at a time. But if I have it turned off, it'll let me go frame by frame. So I'm going to find the exact frame where we should hear the clap sound. So it's probably right there. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on snapping, and I'm going to grab the razor and I'm going to split that right there. I'm going to delete this up ahead. I'm just going to line that up if I can find it in the song. It's probably. Yeah, I keep my skeleton key. That's kind of it right there. So I'm going to just bring this up real close and we'll see if I can line it up exactly with that snap on the cloud. That's right there. Let's line that up. I'll turn snap back on, make sure that it's on the right frame. Cool. That's looking pretty good. And I can take this and extend this back as well. And I'll do the same with the shaker. You see me like using the computer at the beginning of the just a simple trick. So I'm going to mute this, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to find a spot where it makes sense. So I think that is the beginning, like big rattle that I do. That right there. So I'm going to try lining it up to that. And then I'll just do what I did before and kind of eyeball it and just nudge it. Yeah, that was pretty close. I would say it's probably 2 frames late. And then I'll just spot check later. I come and go wherever please. I got my skeleton key. By now it's just a simple trick. That's not bad. It's pretty close. Okay, so I've got my audio in. I've got the video synced to the audio. Sometimes I'll do a clap or something on all of them to be able to sync it a little bit better. I'm gonna unmute everything, show all the layers. I'm gonna save the project, and then I'll start working on how I would lay out the video. So this is an example, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with the editing or anything, but I'm just gonna do a real basic layout here in some way, shape, or form. So what I'll probably start doing first is just kind of lining these clones of myself up. So I'm gonna take this top layer, the vocals with the shaker, and I'm gonna move this guy way over to the left. And I'll probably have the guitar guy in the middle. And then I'll just come down to cropping. I'm just going to bring in the right. So it'll expose the layers underneath a little bit. And I can turn up the softness. I'm not trying to do anything. I guess since that coffee cup is so prominent, I might actually try to end up featuring that. So the vocals, the second vocals, what I'm going to try to do is just keep the layout consistent, have everyone kind of have all the faces facing towards the middle. So instead of just moving this guy all the way to the right, having him face off of the frame, I'll probably flip it vertically also, draw the attention to the center of the screen, and just kind of do the opposite. Bring this guy over here. Oops, it's flipped, so right and left will be flipped. Bring this edge in. Really chugging with the video, with the screen capture all happening at the same time too. I'll bring it in until it's something like that. Actually, I would turn the softness up and just crop a little bit more. And then same with this guy that's on top. Sometimes if I've got a lot of layers, I find myself just turning them on and off to make sure I know which one with which I'm working at any point in time. Give the guitar still a bit more space. Just move the guitar over. So nothing crazy or big for this video. I'm going to go ahead and save it here, but I'm probably going to have trouble playing it right now, just because I've got the video capture happening while it's rendering all these layers. So what I would usually do right now is just take a little portion of it and play through. Well, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, it's really struggling with it, capturing the video while rendering the video at the same time. Oh, I look really angry there. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, and just what I'll do is I'll just render like a couple seconds to see how everything looks, and then I'll go in and to see how things are lining up. I'm nowhere there, but I speak the language. And I know the customs here. I come from over the horizon, pass through every couple. Okay, looking all right. Little drab looking, and this is part of what happens when I'm using this particular camera. It takes like very kind of flat colors, which is great. Actually, I prefer that rather than the like auto contrast on things. So the step that I think is actually super crucial that I think a lot of people sleep on is color correction, and Davinci Resolve is pretty excellent at this. So I don't remember what this Power Windows I think is what this is called. I don't remember. But so I come in here and I just do. I'm not an expert at this or anything, but I will get the darks to an area where I see like true blacks in the dark areas, like the shadows. I want them to be truly black. They'll usually pop up the color, just the brightness a little bit. I've already got a lot of white coming through, just mainly because I was backlit that day. So um, I'm going to try and lift everything else just a little bit. So I'll start with that, and then I'll turn the reds up. Now we can see there isn't a whole lot of color value up here, so I'll turn the reds up in the brighter areas and down in the cooler areas, just a bump. I do the opposite with the blues, and there are people who are so much better than me at this, but this gives it kind of that orange teal look, where the hot colors are a little bit more, the bright colors are a little bit more hot with the red, and the dark colors are a little bit more cool with the blue. I think uh, John Wick is like perfectly color corrected in my eyes and my brain. Oops. So I'll go and I'll do something similar to all the videos here. I might actually have the side videos be a little bit darker, um, just to have the center be a little bit more focused. So I'll do something similar. I'm just going to give a very quick bump in both directions, like I was saying before, with the reds and the blues. Not much, but just a hair. I'll do that. I'll repeat this with the far right. Yeah, I think it does look a little bit better with those just a little darker than what's in the center. It draws the eye to the singer here. Something like that. Not much. I think I could probably also bump up the saturation a little bit on all of these, just a hair. 58.2. So I'm just going to try to use the same settings on all of them. I'll usually go in and look at 100% pixels too. Okay. Like here where the oranges are overlapping, you can see it's a little bit brighter with the, well, there's a shadow there, but you can see the colors they're actually matching pretty well, the oranges. That's fun. My finger's coming out of the mic there. So, that's looking pretty all right. So this is, at this point for this video, this is all I'm really going to do. I would set this up to be the beginning and the end and render it. And then I would add the titling at the, you know, a bump at the beginning and stuff in a completely different project. So I'll render this video out first and add the logo bump at the beginning and an intro or an outro and a logo bump or something at the end too. But yeah, that's the basics of this. I'll do a much more in-depth one when I do like the next time I do like a multicam song where I've got the camera split like I do very often. But this is the basics of it, setting up the music first, setting up a cue in the music so that everything lines up correctly, the videos line up correctly, and then doing a very quick render of just a couple seconds to make sure that it does, and the color correction. You can do that in anything that allows you to do curves or HSV stuff, RGB stuff. You know, like you can find a way to do that in Premiere, After Effects. I'm sure iMovie, I've never used it, but I'm sure it's got something that'll let you do something like that. But I think that that's super important to just kind of take it 8-9% a little bit farther so that things look a little bit crisper and better. Hope this helps. Cheers.